Wizards Nation, on this doom and gloom day here in the DMV, Commanders got their ish reorganized and gutted yesterday, and Wizards now 3-19. Cam Whitmore, a new report came out earlier today, about like 40 minutes, so I'm late. But Cam Whitmore, ladies and gentlemen, regarding the whole meet the standards thing that happened a couple days ago with Coach Keefe, a new report came out basically stating that the Wizards have concerns about Cam Whitmore's practice habits and day-to-day work. Quote unquote, inside the organization, the concern has been the day-to-day work. Amid a 3-19 start to the season, Washington has emphasized establishing firm practice habits and a consistent approach across its young roster. Whitmore has not consistently met those expectations. It's basically a follow-up from this, which I believe was on Friday after the loss. Cam Whitmore did not play. He was quote-unquote ill. But Coach Keefe had to say this about Cam Whitmore. We have certain standards that we have on our team. He has to live up to those on the better. And he'll have a chance here, but that's going to be up to him when that time comes. That was followed up with this, saying, because we're just like, what the hell? What do you mean by standards? You know, I mean, obviously, we know what standards, but like, was it off the court stuff? Was it on court stuff? That's the stuff we have to talk about internally. So it's more stuff we saw in the game, but I don't have anything more to comment on that. Yeah, dude. So let me turn on this thing real quick. My initial thoughts were, when this first came out, not what came out today. When it first came out, I was just like, well, if this is stuff that's just on the court, I mean, you keep preaching standards, but it's kind of hard to get your message across if, you see people in front of you getting their shit wrecked on a daily basis. We're 3-19. What do you mean by standard? Now, with this new report, definitely off the court stuff, bad practice habits, day-to-day routine. What the hell does day-to-day mean? I would insinuate saying the day-to-day stuff is just like, after practice where he's just, not locked in, basically. Not locked in. I said this in my previous video. He's 21 years old. He's immature. But that's no excuse. As much as I love Cam, that's no excuse. You are a professional basketball player. You're making millions. You have a responsibility. Not to us. Fuck me. To yourself. To your family. To ensure that you meet your potential, dude. Or get in the vicinity. You see, people like young kids in the NBA, like, I understand, like, their responsibilities are a whole different tier than ours. Because, like, if I was 21 with millions of dollars, like, I'll be going crazy. I'll be stupid. But some people have to develop at a much faster rate. This is no excuse. Let me read the article real quick. I agree with you guys here. Everyone in the team is 21. But we do have leaders, though. I mean, that's the main reason why we re-signed Anthony Gill, right? CJ McCollum, Chris Middleton. Those are three bona fide leaders in this team. Not even bona fide leaders in this league. They're one of the best leaders in this league. They have the repertoire, the reputation, the championship accolades with Middleton. I agree. It leads obviously with leadership, but but I don't know. Like I think it stems more from just the leaders on our roster. It has to be with coaching, right? All right. Let me just read this article because this came from this article that was dropped about an hour ago. So basically, they're saying here. Let me read the article here. Yeah. As public scrutiny intensifies around Cam Whitmore's did not play a designation in shrinking role, much of the outside discussion has centered on visible moments. We know this. Body language, defensive lapses, shot selection. That's on-the-court stuff, though. Well, yeah. But those factors are not at the center of the Washington Wizards evaluations. Multiple sources tell RG, which is this news website. We talked about this stuff already. It says here, if you're trying to establish yourself in the NBA, you need to show up to practice, one source told RG. We read here, damn. Is he missing practice or something like that? I'm pretty sure he's showing up physically, but like he's probably just not giving no effort in practice. Keefe added that the team would keep further details internal. I agree with that. Don't make shit public. Okay, that's all they have, pretty much. But this one stands out. If you're trying to establish yourself in the NBA, you need to show up to practice regarding Cam Whitmore. I'm saying being 21 is an excuse when almost everyone is close to that age. Agreed. Trey Johnson is 19 years old, and you got to yank this kid off the gym. It's the mentality, man. It's the mentality. Young Mill, I don't know. I think he physically showed up to practice. It's just he's not giving effort in practice, I think. If he's missing practice, that's a huge red flag. I don't think they would. If he did, I believe suspension or a fine would be, they would have done it actually. You know? Well, I mean, like, why not make it? I mean, this stuff, yeah. I mean, I understand making it public, but I mean, like if he's showing up, I don't know. I feel like some stuff should be kept internally and not make it dramatized. I wonder if it's so bad that they would trade him. So let me finish my shit take on this, man. I'm gonna get to y'all real quick. Now with this being off the court stuff, I don't know. I can't believe I'm actually gonna say this, but I agree with Keefe. If this is off the court stuff, you're not showing up to practice, your bad practice habits. They said here again, day-to-day stuff. And day-to-day work. If you're doing that, even if in a tanking season, you got to be benched. You got to be benched. If everyone around you is giving 100, like, I don't even know if everybody else around them is giving 110% effort. I mean, I like to think so, to a certain degree, you know, but you don't want one bad apple out there just dicking around, barely showing up, not caring. That right there is going to develop not just bad aura, bad vibes in the locker room, but you don't want that moving forward. You don't. See, the thing with Cam Whitmore, man, is like we see the potential, but his inconsistency that I talked about in the last video, like here's his game logs, man. Like the past 2 games, well, 3 games, 2 games, well, third including the DMP. Barely played, has done anything before that. Then against the Bucks, 17 points in 19 minutes. Look at this stretch right here. 20 points, 11 points, 13 points, 11, 20, 19. He had a good 6-game stretch. Crashing the boards, looking much more involved. You know, his on-ball defense, off-ball defense has been this, like, you know, it's been getting wrecked there, but at least being more attentive in that aspect, you know, giving effort. And then look at this after that. Then there's a couple games where he's just like, you know, barely playing or barely even involved, not doing anything. The past 2 games have just been atrocious for him. Shooting 0-4 from the 3, 18% from the field, you know, but this has been the story of Cam Whitmore this entire season. Starts off solid right here, 10, 18, 14, I guess solid to a certain degree. And then just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight games of just meh. And after that, 6 games of, you know, good, solid basketball play. And then now, that's just been the story of Cam Whitmore, man. My bad. I'm going to put a thing here. Let me read some of what you guys said. Did you see the video of him bringing up the Wizards jersey to a strip club? Oh, shit, for real? Is that going viral right now on Twitter? See, I didn't want to insinuate stuff like this. I didn't want to insinuate, but you know what? Like with these type of reports, day-to-day work, bad practice habits, not being involved, it just makes me feel like, is he clubbing too hard? Is he showing up hungover? Is he, I don't know, man. Like, isn't he dating like a local celebrity? He's dating a local celebrity. See, I don't want to get into his personal life though. That's something different. I mean, but then again, like you have to like, I don't know, man. I these 21-year-olds, man, they don't realize that you can get swallowed and forgotten by the NBA like this. Like this. Cam is known for being a low character guy. That's true. That's true. Since his days in Houston, Villanova. That's one of the main reasons why he fell in the draft. Remember, he was supposed to be a top 5 draft pick. I guess if there's anything positive to this, it's that Will Riley now will benefit from this. If I'm a betting man, Will Riley could and should get Cam Whitmore's minutes for the foreseeable future. We don't know how bad this is going to be. If it's going to be a multiple game stretch, if Cam actually receives the message. We don't know how Cam's going to react to this. Maybe this can get worse. Maybe this could get worse. This could get toxic. I like to think he'll receive the message. But going back to my video that I said, and somebody disagreed with me, respectfully, good dude, I forgot his name. Somebody commented this morning on my video, and they're like, I respectfully disagree because benching Cam Whitmore, if he's not it, he's not it. Benching Cam, something like that, he said. Now with this new report that came out today, and this being off the court stuff, I'm in favor of benching him. Not benching him for the rest of the season no, give him a good 3 to 4 game benching. I didn't know that there was I mean, he has a reputation, but it wasn't solidified. It wasn't, no reports were out there. With this news, I'm just like, nah, man, even at the tanking season, you don't want this bad aura. You don't want this bad vibes in the locker room. You don't want this around dudes like Trey Johnson, Will Riley, Alex Sarr, Keyshawn George. You want guys who are hard workers. You want guys who want to be here in the future, who want to win, who want to turn the ship around. You don't want guys in here who don't give a fuck or probably dicking around or probably, clubbing too hard, showing up hungover. Nah, man, doesn't matter about your potential. Now, with that in mind, with what I just said, I'm still not out on the Cam Whitmore ship. I'm going to repeat that one more time. I am not out. Not out on the Cam Whitmore ship. I am not ruling him out for the rest of the season. I am not ruling him out. Him being a piece in the future here with us. I would love him to do that. I have a feeling that he is going to be, considering how his inconsistency has been this entire season. Coach Keefe throws him praise one game, does it the next game. I like to think that, he's going to turn it around. Now, to what degree, we don't know yet. But I am not ruling out Cam Whitmore. It's still too early, dude. It's still too early. But Will Riley, that's like the only positive thing right now I can think about. This is why good vets are needed in locker rooms. Everyone want to be cool and buddy. I mean, I agree, dude. But like we got 3 really solidified vets in our locker room. And then on top of that, Gill, Middleton, and McCollum. And on top of that, our young bucks, I guess you can say the only knucklehead we have out of all our young bucks is Cam Whitmore. Our young bucks are known for being hard workers. They're hungry dudes. They want to be great players. That's one thing that, Will Dawkins evaluates in a prospect. He hones in on that. Our young bucks, I'm not worried about. Even if we didn't have these vets, dudes Trey Johnson, Will Riley, Alex Sarr. Alex Sarr is not a character problem. You know what I mean? Bilal Coulibaly, Keyshawn George. They want to be great. So I don't know. I think Cam Whitmore needs better. He needs better structure around him. I think the structure is more on coaching. Maybe the inconsistency within Coach Keefe's lineups and rotations is pissing off Cam. Crocs Wild No Sock says, nah, can't rule him out because they did the same with Poole, Kuz. Now, Cam, it's a reality check, basically. Yep, I agree. In the meantime, with this report, I mean, it's totally understandable to bench him, but I wouldn't want to bench him for a long time. Maybe a 2-game, 3-game stretch and then put him back into rotation. Obviously, let him earn it. Let's see how he reacts to the message. But, man, this is he's gonna turn around. He gotta turn around. But like still, man, like all right, let's play hypotheticals. Why did George miss that one game? Because it was ill. What the fuck? That's the issue. You can do whatever you want here. Call out of work like it's Waffle House. I mean, that's more instruction from the coach, right? All right, let me go back to the hypothetical, though. Let's say Cam Whitmore doesn't turn it around. Or let's say he just continues to be super inconsistent. Would y'all want to trade him? I don't know how much we can get for him. Traded 2 second-round picks to get him. I, myself, would not want to trade him. Contract year next year for Cam Whitmore. See, contract years, man, it lights a fire up these players' asses. Dirty, scroll up to my first comment when you get a chance. Let me know what you think. Let's see here. Hold up. There is no leadership, and that is a standard. Play hard, work hard, and do your job. Everyone is 21, but maybe the other 21-year-olds are doing their jobs, but their job become harder when others slack. No, I agree. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much summarized what I said too. You know, just because you're 21 doesn't give you a valid pass to act like a complete and total buffoon. And our other 21-year-olds are not like this. They're not. Even Trey Johnson, who's 19 years old. Will Riley, who's 19 years old. Jameer Watkins is 24 years old. They're dudes who want to win, who want to improve, who want to turn the ship around. Bilal Coulibaly, Alex Sarr, Keyshawn George, Bub Carrington. You can hate on Bub all you want. Bub Carrington's the guy who works hard, who guys who live and breathe basketball. Cam's the only one that there's questions in that department. You know, obviously they did it. Well, Walt Dawkins, traded for Cam because he thought, okay, the potential is there. It's too good to pass up. But we know of these, immaturity concerns. Let's see if he can turn it around here. So that's another thing that I want to say too. Here's another thing. Bub is a Make-A-Wish kid. Stop. I mean, I'm talking about his, his work ethic. I'm not talking about his, on-ball performance. Anyways, whatever. Another thing, this is too. Sometimes coming back home ain't it for a player. Being too close to home. I mean, you would think. But I've seen too many reports, too many players in the NBA or in the NFL saying, coming back home is just too much problems. Too much problems. You're too close to home. That's what Kevin Durant kept saying. Well, I think Kevin Durant was full of BS with that one. I think he just didn't want to come home. But, not just him, but other dudes in the NBA or NFL. So I was like, nah, man, I don't want to come home. It's going to be too much problems, too much stress, too much everything. Cam Whitmore's home. Yeah. Baltimore kid. Is this another thing that's just like causing too much? I don't know. If Will Riley is not getting freaking 20-plus minutes moving forward, Coach Keefe. Ty White says, nah, you just need some real dudes who ain't scared of confrontation in the locker room. If Udoka couldn't change Cam, I don't think any coach can. That's a good one right there. But my retort to that, Paprika, is this. Udoka tried changing Cam when he was 19 and 20 years old. That's going to be a whole new version when Cam is 23, 24 years old. Maybe the light turns on up here. Maybe. Right? But I do agree with you with that one. I mean, but like people mature, like everybody's maturity levels and how long it takes them to mature and all that stuff, they're on their own time frame. So we don't know with Cam. But next year's a contract year. I would like to keep him here to see what he's going to do and perform in his contract year, though. I wouldn't trade Cam before his contract year. Maybe something lights up. Something we know about these players want to get paid. Ty White says, someone who ain't scared to check these youngins and tell them, this is how it goes, Rook. You don't know shit. That's true. A tough-nosed veteran, basically. A tough-nosed veteran. That's one of the main reasons why I kind of wanted to, keep Rashawn Holmes as like a third possible big or something like that. He seemed like in that realm. He was a captain with the Kings for multiple years. He was tough-nosed on the hardwood. I'm assuming this man's a tough-nosed in the locker room as well. Paprika says, hopefully you're right. Even Poole changed a bit with age. That's true. See, that's true. It's like, that is definitely true, man. But I'm not trying to give Cam any excuses. I'm not. I'm disappointed right now. I am. I'm disappointed. But this is not the end-all, be-all with Cam. But at least we know now. It's like, okay, fine, Coach Keefe. Like, I haven't agreed with Coach Keefe basically this entire freaking year, but I'm just like, all right, I understand. I agree with you benching him. I wouldn't mind you benching him for the next 2 games too. Let's make sure that the message get across to him. Give Will Riley all the minutes. Hopefully you're. I've already read that. What coach would you want in a replacement for Keefe? I talked about Taylor Jenkins, coach previously from the Grizzlies. I talked about Ty Lue, maybe. Not Ty Lue. Ty Lue, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know if he'll want to come here. Depending on what the Clippers are doing. I also talked about Sam Cassell, but he's also been a dude who's been like in the head coaching carousel for years. Mike Laurie says, a winning organization has a professional locker room, not a bunch of weird thugs that are trash on the court. That's true, man. That's true. I keep saying this, but like all of our young bucks are built differently up here. Their mentals are right. Except Cam. Except Cam. Cam's the only one. He's the only quote-unquote immaturity concern type player. Like, we're not going to see this from any other type of our young bucks. We're not going to see this from Trey Johnson, Will Riley. I even tossed in Corey Kispert. Corey Kispert's a solid veteran. But somebody who said this earlier, yeah, Ty White said this. Somebody who ain't scared to check these youngins and tell them to their face, this is how it goes, Rook. You don't know shit. Now, yeah, there's different types of leadership. I don't know if Middleton, McCollum, and Gill are like that. I don't think so. But, like, with Middleton, like, you got a guy who won a chip, multiple-time All-Star. You'd be a complete dumbass if you don't follow Middleton's route, right? Right? Tibbs. Maybe. Let's see here. Rashawn was our Hartenstein. They missed the mark on that. Well, if he was our Hartenstein, he would have stayed here, though. And I don't think he's in the NBA anymore. I think he's playing in Greece. I like Rashawn, though, man. I did like Rashawn. The real question is, who would we even care about Cam? We have so many players that can play his spot. It's not like we were expecting him to be our franchise player like Champagnie, Riley, or Watkins. It's true, but like we got to see what we got in him, though. That's why I am against trading him before his contract year next year. But man, fucking Cam. Well, I'm acting like this is like the end all be all with him, but still. At what point is it just basically, all right, with Cam, at what point is it where if stuff like this continues to happen, we're 3-19, and, you know, players are just so disillusioned with the coach. We have a historically bad defense, complete ineptitude. Like, this is all piling up against Coach Keefe. So even in a tanking season, at what point is Will Dawkins going to be like, you know what, enough is enough. There's no structure here. There's no standard here. What the hell are you doing, Coach Keefe? At what point is Will Dawkins going to say to the Coach Keefe, just fire him? I said in my previous videos, I was just like, we saw how, you know, what's his name? Wes Unseld Jr. got fired after, I believe, a 6-36 record. Fired him in January. He was 6-36 with us. Is that the standard? Is that where the calling will Dawkins will be like, all right, enough is enough? We have a precedent with Wes Unseld Jr. But with stuff like this coming out, you have to think and wonder, hey man, like Coach Keefe was hired to be fired. Like, let us not forget that. Coach Keefe was hired to be fired. How bad do you have to be that you're going to be fired prematurely than your original firing deadline? Like, does that not sink in with people? Will Dawkins, even Coach Keefe, I guarantee you he knew, I'm not going to be the head coach of the future. This is a temporary thing, temporary tag. And then he's going to be fired in freaking February. I'm calling it right now. I think Coach Keefe's going to be fired in February. We're in December, dude. 2 more months of this. I don't think. I think it's. I'm just thinking about the Wes Unseld Jr. precedent. He waited until the end of January. We were 6-36. Right now, hold on. Y'all know me. Before the end of the stream, I like to do the Tankathon. Because that's the only thing we have right now to look forward to. Right now, we are right here. Have the second worst record. The Pelicans are being so freaking annoying this year, man. So freaking annoying. They don't even have their first round pick, and yet they're still tanking. Like their life depends on it. Come on. Anyways, we have the second worst record, right? The Pacers are right behind us. We play the Pacers on the 14th, a Sunday. So that's going to be another big game. Well, I'm talking about big games in freaking December, man. We're down bad right now, y'all. Clippers, they're fourth. The Kings won last night. The Nets won last night. The Brooklyn Nets have been playing better. They've been playing better. I actually think I'm going to make a video on this, like, because right now we're like at the quarter mark of the season. I might make a video about like the current lottery standings or whatever. But the Nets have been playing better. Michael Porter Jr. is balling. I like to think that they're going to trade him at the trade deadline, and then they're going to go full tank mode, big time. But the Nets have been playing better. They're 4-6 in the past 10 games. So let's see here. Dallas won recently. So that's good. And I predicted earlier, I was like, the Pacers are not going to be having one of the top 4 worst records in this league, or the lowest 4 records. Rick Carlisle, their players are coming back from injuries, you know. But let's see what people are saying in the chat. This is why I wouldn't be opposed to bringing in CP3. Love him or hate him, he's a vocal leader who holds people accountable. Clippers couldn't handle that. Hey, you know what? We need a point guard. Would CP3 want to come here? No. Now, would we pay him a little bit more to come here? Yeah. That's the only reason why he would come here. Or unless he has no other... I don't think CP3 would want to come here in his last season. He already said he's going to retire after this season. He called out Kawhi. He said something about, like, you ain't shit, boy. He talked about, like, oh, load managing my asshole. And then Kawhi, I don't know if y'all read the report, and then Kawhi looked at him and then walked out of the locker room, and then CP3 was, like, waved, like, shortly right after, a couple hours later. Yeah, a vocal vet, but let's see here. He might be old, but he commands immense respect, and he's an ultimate floor general. Yeah. Bring back Marcus Smart if they could. He's with the Lakers, and he's playing. He's actually in their rotation, too. As long as we're bottom 3, we should be fine. Same 14% odds, and it's not like we're aiming for top of picks 4 to 7. True. Smart staying in LA. Yeah, he's not going anywhere. Is it bad? I'd love Draymond as a vet. No, I think that's pretty bad. I'm not a big fan of Draymond, man. He's going to freaking punch Trey Johnson. No, fuck that. Draymond's that vet. He's a good vet, but at the same time, like, he has that, once he sees red, and all bets are off. I don't want my vet to piss off my young bucks so that make them disillusioned. Nah, man. I can't. And also, I don't like Draymond. I'm not a big fan of Draymond, man. Bro, we could pay CP3 to be our next head coach. He might take a couple gap years after he retires. Maybe John Wall could take over as Keith is fired. Then in the summer, we can hire the best coach. They're going to have to promote somebody within his coaching staff, though. I just don't want this bad vibes, this toxic energy in the locker room. You're already horrific on the court. You don't want to be that bad off the court as well. Like, you know. Draymond needs to be in a good team to be really effective anyway at this point. Yeah, that's true. I agree. Draymond needs the best point guard of all time, or one of the best point guards of all time, in order to be effective. I'm not a big fan of Draymond, man. Yeah, I don't like him, boy. I don't like Draymond, man. I acknowledge his defensive presence during his heyday. He was one of the most versatile defenders in NBA history. But enough. This man's making what, $20 million a year? Nah, man, I can't. I'm sure Wall would do a better job than Keith. Hey, Wall would put these young bucks. Wall would confront Cam and be like, "Hey, man, let's go to Rose Bar." No. Wall was confrontational here. You saw him going at it with Marcin Gortat. It's on Twitter, though. Let's make Etan Thomas and Brendan Haywood our coach. Let's make Etan Thomas and Brendan Haywood our coach. And then let them get into heated arguments. And then our young bucks will see that, shit ain't sweet. If the coaches are freaking fist fighting, we should put out 110% effort out there. Fuck it. Fuck, what do we have to offer, dude? What the fuck? Let's make fucking, I don't know. Let's make Ovechkin our coach. He's tough. Let's make Ovechkin our coach. He's tough. You know what I mean? How can you look at Ovechkin who's missing teeth and they'll be like, oh, shit, this guy, man. What the fuck? If I don't play out there 100%, if my transition defense is not to par, this man's going to freaking smack me with his stick. I don't know, man. We're down so bad with this freaking coaching shit. Caron Butler. Hey, Caron Butler. Is he still with the Heat? Where's Caron Butler? He was with the Heat. Yep, he's still with the Heat. I would take Caron Butler. I don't know about head coaching. I mean, it looks like he's trying to gain experience right now to become a head coach. I mean, I don't know how highly thought of he is in the NBA. So, Mark Jackson, give me. All right, I'm gonna end the stream with this. Give me Taylor Jenkins, Sam Cassell, or Ty Lue, if Ty Lue's available. I think people are sleeping in the fact that if we get a top pick, a top 3 or 4 pick, even though our record shows and reflects that we are certified ass, we will be somewhat of a commodity. Coaches will want to come here. Think about it this way. We have, possible top 3 pick coming in. We have, I believe, the most cap space in the entire NBA. $95 million. A GM who's now ready to win. Who's going to be in win now mode. An owner who is not or no longer in the basketball operations or making decisions and like that. Looks like Will Dawkins got all the keys. But we also have an owner who's a greedy asshole and is charging his fan base $20 a month to see this bullshit. I'm sorry, I really can't with Ted Leonsis. I remember I was thinking about this earlier, like a couple of days ago. I was just like, perhaps I might have squandered my opportunity to be possibly working as a freaking Monumental. Monumental's owned by Ted Leonsis. Due to all the shit talking I've been talking about Ted Leonsis and his son, his robotic son. We care about the fan base. We care about you guys so much that we lowered the price from $200 to now $180 annually to watch this shit team, this shit performance on a nightly basis. Why are they all like that? Robots. These billionaires, man. I can't. So I may have, ruined my opportunity to be a Monumental fucking intern or whatever the hell. Fuck it, man. This is how I genuinely feel. I don't like Ted Leonsis. Uncle Ted, my ass. You're not even Theo Ted. You're not even Kuya Ted. Who the fuck? You're not Uncle Ted. Just because this asshole owns the Capitals and he thinks he's over here freaking I don't know, the Donald Trump of the DMV. Fuck you, man. Fuck Ted Leonsis, man. With that whole $20 a month thing, taking him off YouTube TV and Hulu Plus, that right there was a big middle finger in my opinion, man. And then he tries to do this whole victim card. YouTube TV is lowballing us. No, I'm pretty sure they gave you they probably lowballed you, but the ratings weren't there because the freaking performance and everything that you're giving us the past couple of years hasn't been it. Fans have been disillusioned. Screw Ted. I just randomly went on a Ted Leonsis tangent. I can't with Ted, man. That was a big F you, man. $20 a month for this shit? I would love to see the numbers right now. I would love to see the numbers right now of the Wizards viewership. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do that right now before I end the stream. I must see the Wizards. It must have fell big time. Lord knows I've been watching on Mets streams this entire year. Buff streams. Crack streams. I've been addicted. Washington Wizards, not freaking Wizards of Waverly Place. The heck? What's wrong with people? Says here. Specific viewership. Not even AI knows. Monumental with the Mystics. Yeah, the Mystics. Yeah. The Mystics are the Mystics good this year? Kudos to the Mystics. Never forget that he tried to move to VA. That's true. That's true. That's another thing right there. Yeah, it's another thing. And he said that. He's like, oh, he had this whole press conference. I don't know if y'all saw that. He had this whole press conference. He had the Virginian, I don't know if it was the mayor or where the fuck. They had this whole thing. And they drew a whole plan of, or a picture of what the new stadium will look like in Virginia. Mind you, when he first took over the team after Abe Pollin, rest in peace, passed away, one of his first words in his introductory press conference was just like, I am never going to move this team to any other thing, DMV till I die. Granted, he's moving from DC to Virginia, but fuck, when I think of the Wizards, man, I want to go to Capital One. I want to go to DC. That's a part of the Wizards experience to me. I live in Maryland. I'm a Maryland kid. And he tried to move into Virginia, man. Fuck, screw this guy, man. And apparently he ended up having the DC mayor over here pay his renovations to the stadium. Fuck that, dude. Man, fuck this guy, man. I never liked Ted Leonsis, man. Never liked him. As soon as I heard when he first came out, he was just like, I'm gonna be Uncle Ted. Uncle Ted, man. Fuck, earned that label. This Uncle Ted. I can't, man. I can't with Ted Leonsis. I don't like him whatsoever. And on top of that, here's another reason why I don't like Ted Leonsis. He was the main guy during the Tommy Shepard era and the Bradley Beal Dark Ages who was saying, I don't want to rebuild. Let's continue putting this putrid dog shit product out there, the sub 500 mediocre level type basketball that we witnessed for what? How long? 4 or 5 years? That was Ted Leonsis' call. He told Tommy Shepard, I don't want to rebuild. I don't want to withstand the rebuilding. And what happened? What happened? Those 3 reasons, let alone threatening to move freaking the Wizards to Virginia. $20 a month now. We can't even watch the Wizards. We got to pay $20 a month to watch this. I can't, man. I can't with Ted Leonsis, man. I was thinking too, I was like, hopefully the Wizards viewership ratings would be so low that he would cave to the YouTube thing, to the YouTube offer. And I don't know, man. Uncle Ted is cringe. DC team should stay in DC. Yeah, man. The Commanders come back to DC. All right, y'all. I'm going to call it quits. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I'm going to make a video tomorrow. You know, it's dark times right now. Dark times in the DMV. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. But you know what? Unlike previous years, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Commanders have Jaden Daniels. That light is shining bright. Wizards. We got Will Dawkins. We have a number of young studs in our roster. Alex Starr, Keyshawn George, Trey Johnson. Hopefully another pick. The light is shining bright on the Wizards at the end of the tunnel. Next year is going to be nice. Next year will be entertaining. But I've been saying that for the past 10 years. So I don't know. I don't know. Wizards game should be on YouTube Live. Wizards game should just be available in your local market. Is this going to affect the growing, like a fan base where, you know, kids who are 15, 16 years old, where they're just getting their interest in the NBA and they're choosing their favorite team, and they're not going to choose the Wizards because they can't freaking watch the Wizards. So they're obviously going to go to teams like the Lakers, the Celtics, the Knicks. He's ruining his own fan base. He could possibly limit the growth of the Wizards community. What a jackass. I don't want the Wizards community to shrink or die. We need to grow. I can't watch most games as I'm from England. Oh, shoot. Shout out, man. Shout out. Only the afternoon games. Yeah, man. They need to do something, man. The last game I watched was versus the Heat when Bub hit the game winner. Damn. That was months ago, man. That was in April. That was the last game of the season last year. I appreciate you following up, though. Yeah, man. But we'll see what's going to happen with Cam Whitmore. Take care, everybody. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the stream. I am going to go watch some Caleb Wilson highlights and eat some Dino chicken nuggets for lunch. I am off today from work. Dino chicken nuggets it is. And then I might go to Rose Bar tonight. And if I see Cam Whitmore waving his jersey around, I will scream. I will record it. And I'll use it as blackmail. Okay, no, I won't do that. But I'll call up to him and be like, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck? What's wrong? So I wouldn't do any of that shit because I'm a bitch. I don't know, man. We'll see. Cam Whitmore, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Don't be a freaking buffoon. You're 21 years old. That's no excuse. This is your livelihood. This is your NBA career. Snap out of it. If somebody sees him at a bar in D.C., please, or at a strip club, and you see him waving his jersey around like a jackass, I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I'll probably record it, and I'll probably be like, what the fuck, boy? But then I'll feel guilty if I freaking spread it on Twitter, and then, he gets in trouble. I ain't no snitch. My dumbass will buy him a bottle. Like, hey, man, what the fuck, man? Big fan. You know what I mean? I leave the other day, man. What's the shit? Lord. Whitmore acts like a spoiled child. He does, man. Is he even spoiled? Yeah, I mean, he probably wasn't a spoiled child, but he needs to. He probably got it all good growing up in basketball. He's probably, I don't know, like a spoiled youngest child. Yeah. I need to talk to some Rockets fans about this. Rockets fans probably even know more in depth. Cam Whitmore in Houston with the strip clubs out there? Oh, Rockets fans know some ish. Rockets fans know some ish about Cam Whitmore. They know something. They have the dirt. Huh. I didn't think about that. Man, Cam, you got me talking wild in the stream, man. I'm a big fan. What the fuck? When we traded for him, I was just like, come on, man. We got it. We got a big steal. The inconsistency this year has just not been it. Google how many siblings does Cam Whitmore have. I bet he's the youngest. We'll see, dude. All right, man. I'm going to call it quits now this time for real. Take care, everybody. Peace, y'all. Go Wizards. We play on Friday against the Cavs, which will be a monumental L. That's what Monumental Sports should call themselves now for moving forward. Monumental L. What? But we play the Cavs this week. Just one game on Friday. Yeah. Anyways, let's stick together. We have a bright future. Fuck it. We got a bright future. We got a bright future, man. I know we right now it's bad times, bad aura, bad everything. Just hang in there.